Welcome back to the channel, guys. So in today's video we are going to attempt to remove the transmission. Wish me luck.
Alright, so let's see what has arrived. Great. Something I am not looking forward to doing. But here it is. Clutch kit is finally here. And we can start. Clutch plate. And then pressure plate. Throwout bearing. A little bit of grease. Alignment tool. And I have no idea what this is. And you know what I should also probably buy is a rear main seal, since we're going to be right there. Well, we should probably change that out. I'm not sure if it's leaking or not, but if I had to guess, I would imagine it is. Flywheel.
Now, I don't think I can do this all in one video. It's probably going to be way too long. So I'll, probably do it in two parts so we don't drag this out too long. But I think in this episode, we'll just disconnect everything from the top, from the bottom, remove the axle. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is start with removing the battery, and then we're going to jump to this intake all the way there, and then from there, I don't know, maybe the battery tray and whatever else that's up here that's connected to the transmission. This would be a lot easier if it had a handle. Parts just laying around. Somebody's definitely been here before. Take up. Nasty. This here clamp was already loose. What is this thing? Okay guys, so here I attempt to remove the starter motor. There's one connector and power cable that goes to it, and then two mounting bolts. They're both different sizes for whatever reason, but yeah, before I could actually get to the bottom bolt, I had to remove that battery bracket
that's in the way. I end up removing it here shortly. There it goes.
Oh, and here's the starter. For whatever reason, it's got one 14 millimeter, and then the bottom one, bottom bolt is 17 millimeter.
Okay guys, so in this area here, I removed the banjo bolt and also the reverse light switch and disconnect the shifter cables.
All right, I'm starting to think that somebody has already done a clutch kit. I mean, after removing that starter, I can see that the pressure plate, you can see that, I'm pretty sure that's the pressure plate. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can see the pressure plate and flywheel through the starter access hole now that the starter is removed. And that pressure plate and flywheel look brand spanking new. And also the cotter pin through to one of the shift cables is through the hole, but it's not even bent. The tails aren't bent in either direction to prevent the cotter pin from coming out. So I'm pretty sure either somebody did this job and didn't. Anyways, I'll explain at the end of the video my thoughts. But let me just bring you in real quick and see if you guys can't see this new looking flywheel and pressure plate. Stand by. Now, I don't know about you, but that looks pretty brand spanking new. Or it might just look new because it's enclosed.
Alright guys, so quick recap of what we've done to the top. Airbox, battery tray, battery bracket, and then starter, and then over here this is the backup switch. Two connectors pop off, green and yellow. This is off the starter. And also this goes to the starter, the power cable. And this is the bracket to be able to remove this whole loom. And that bracket was held on by these two bolts.
This thing is absolutely filthy underneath, slinging oil everywhere, and it looks like it might be coming from the oil pan. Let's take a look.
All on the exhaust. Oh, you know what that is? That looks like it might be the rear main seal. And then all of this has got to be coming from the oil pan.
Got to remove a few 10 millimeters off these brackets to get these lines out of the way so that I don't damage them somehow. Maybe we should try and remove this axle nut first thing. Make sure we can do that before we get too carried away. So that's a problem. I don't even have the right size. This is a 32 mil socket, so I'm not... What size is that? I think we're gonna have to cut it short here. It's getting late. I haven't eaten all day. And I don't even have the tools. All right, stick around, I'll be back. And $25 later, I have the correct size axle nut. This is a 36 millimeter. All I had was a 32, and I guess that is for rear axles only. So front axle, 36 millimeter is what you need. So we're gonna go ahead and try and take off both of these axle nuts off, and after that, drain the transmission, and then after that, remove both axles. Let's see how this goes. Not bad. Other side. Now we got to remove the tie rod. Of course, another cotter pin. And now to try and break these loose. Now to drain the fluid from the transmission. Well, that's not a very good sign. There's like no oil in the transmission. It's completely empty. Well, so that wasn't good. There was hardly any transmission fluid in the transmission. Don't know what to think about that, but let's go on. Let's keep going forward and removing this passenger side axle. Oh, that was a struggle. Ugh. 4 hours later, no, I'm kidding. But it was a lot of struggle with this passenger side axle. Hopefully the driver will be a lot easier. Let's try and attempt to do the same thing on the other side. This is becoming a nightmare to remove these axles. Got the passenger one out. Let's try and do this driver side. Driver side. Here's the 3 bolts on this bracket. And then this is the shaft end that goes into the transmission. Whew. Alright guys, so I think this is a good stopping point for the first video, because it's starting to get way too long. So we managed to remove both the axles on the driver's side and on the passenger side. Definitely a pain in the butt. The driver's side and the passenger side. So in the next video, we should be removing the transmission, removing the clutch, and basically everything all over again in reverse order. But the bad news is, when I went to go drain the transmission so I can pull these axles, there was like no oil in the transmission. So I don't know if that's causing the car to stay in gear, or if it's still the clutch. But a bunch of stuff were kind of loose, like somebody might have already been in there, but I'm not sure. I guess we'll find out after we do this clutch, and hopefully we don't have to redo everything and change out a transmission. Anyways, all right guys, I'll see you guys in the next video, and hopefully we'll get this done.